Alright, there we go. Just didn't want that shouting at me every time my guild engaged something. Alright. So they opened up the Warfronts, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, but first, of course, gotta do a little fishing.
For the Horde. For the Horde. For the Horde.
There has to be a better way to clear my chat frame. Now we're supposed to be, my raid group's supposed to be raiding this Thursday. And I'm gonna try to see if I can stream it, but I'm gonna have to ask them all and make sure it's okay. One of the guild rules was that you know, make sure everybody's okay with streaming if you're trying to. And I mean, I usually try to ask people anyways. It's just a little difficult when it's that many people, but guess I could just put it in the Discord and say, you know, if anybody minds. I don't know. It's a little bit awkward because I'm like, I don't know. It'll be the second raid I've ever done with them, so I don't know. Plus then, I'm just gonna be opening myself up to criticism for my gameplay, which admittedly is not as good as it should be right now. Not pulling the sort of DPS the simulations are saying I should be, so that's probably something I should consider. But I don't know. I do want to stream it. I'm hoping we can get all the bosses down. I need to do some research, make sure I don't make a fool of myself, you know. Go there not having any idea how to do any of the fights. Alright, let's go check out the Warfronts. And I also unlocked the next part of the war campaign. Got enough rep, so can do that afterwards.
Speak, friend. For the Horde. Speak quickly.
It's kind of expensive.
State your business.
You wish to speak?
Be quick about your business.
I don't know if it'd be better to donate. I have enough linen, but I don't know.
Greetings, my spirits.
Look, Tom.
Quickly, quickly!
100 gold or it takes 8 of these, so about 80 times 3, 240. Screw that, I'll just do the gold.
Don't waste my time. On your way.
Roll hall. Strength.
Where am I going?
Glory to the Horde.
Alright, let's see what happens. By the way, I'm streaming in 1080p again. Should be 60 frames. Let me double check. Yeah. Which means the stream's no longer visible on Twitch, so... Thing is, I don't think I ever got more than maybe 1 to 3 viewers on there, and even that was extremely rare, so... I'd rather have the option for 1080p on here for the people that want it.
Make it back in one piece.
So I know so many of my viewers are crying out for it, so gotta give the people what they want, you know? Oh no. Oh no. Could you not? Please.
No loitering, whatever that means.
Hope that rocket's a mount I can get. I want a rocket.
What's new? Watch yourself out there.
Someone in my guild earlier said they were in a group that killed all the rare monsters here. Saw a bunch of 340 Azeroth armor and like 5 mounts drop, so see if I can get lucky and get some mounts.
Magraw. Be safe.
Oh yeah, I can fly here.
Loktar. May your blades never dull.
Might see if I can find a group to go around killing all the rares.
Looking good. Keep your eyes open.
What can I do for you?
Alright, should be good to go
Watch
now.
it. Go forth to victory.
Greetings. Farewell.
What? Has a lot of haste on it. Yo, how's it going, Glad? Just checking out the new Warfronts, trying to kill all the new rare mobs. Already killed this guy, but just kind of following this raid group. Trying to find some more haste gear. I was accidentally stacking mastery. Well, not so accidentally, ignorantly, rather. I don't recognize the name. Oh yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah, that was a little while ago now. I think I was farming one of the older... Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's crazy to think about how long ago that was too. I think that's what we were talking about, was how long ago it was. how... Oh, there was something about the drakes, but yeah, I remember it. Long story short. I don't know if I mentioned it then, but you can change your title to have Jenkins in it. You do the instance he was in, which was Upper Blackrock Spire, I think. Ubers.
Do not waste my time and your creatures.
Ah, yeah, that's understandable. I should probably be asleep myself, to be honest, but I feel ya. I've been meaning to try to actually start streams a little earlier, it just something always tends to come up when I'm trying to start it, and always end up being around midnight when I'm settled in to actually stream. Sometimes during the day I want to do it, but dogs are barking and getting up to do this and that, but yeah. I feel you, it is pretty late for most of the US. I think that's why I've noticed I get a lot of non-US viewers. Oh, I'm supposed to be running back to my body. But yeah, I've been enjoying the new expansion so far. It's got a lot of interesting stuff in it. It's kind of funny because it makes me think back about Zul'Gurub actually. Now I'm on the east coast of the US, I'm in Florida. So it's 1:23 here, which is pretty late. Not horrible, I guess, but I'll probably be up a couple more hours. Yeah, I imagine most people in the UK are pretty asleep by now. Now I usually took some breaks, but I usually would, I don't know. I played a lot when I was a kid. There was actually one really bad time when, there was a time when I stood up after, like, sitting playing for a while, and I was trying to, like, change or move my AC vents on the ceiling, so I was standing on a, like, one of those big cases of paintballs that you can get. I think they're usually 2,000 paintballs. And I guess my... Hold on. Yeah, I guess my blood had pooled because I basically just passed out, blacked out, fell backwards into like a bureau with a table, or my TV on it, just like a little 22 inch, but it was a, you know, a CRT back then, so those things were heavy. And it almost landed on top of me. But either way, I would sit still for way too long. Like, not get up and move around. I wouldn't... No, I don't know. The more I think about it, the worse it was. Because I was gonna say I wouldn't play for, like, days straight, but I would just stay up till, like, 4 a.m. and then play the next day from noon till whenever. 4 a.m. again. 6 a.m. I don't know. Played a lot. I've always had trouble, like, playing like 24 hours or more straight. Kills my eyes. Nah, I didn't go to the hospital. Like, I woke up right after it. It was just kind of... It's a thing when you just sit for too long, your blood tends to, because of gravity, pulls towards the bottom. And I think that was while I was doing Taekwondo fairly often, and it's something about if you do exercise and then have a lot of downtime between, I don't know, it makes it worse or something. Somebody told me that. Either way, it wasn't that bad. Like, I wasn't badly hurt or anything, I just kind of momentarily lost consciousness. The worst actual injury was from the corner of the bureau where it hit my back. Fell backwards right into the corner. God, it hurt. And I woke up, or I like came back to consciousness all confused because there was a loud ass noise of a TV falling on me and behind me. I had no idea what was happening. But I try to make sure I get up and move around every once in a while. It's really not good to sit still and just completely not get up for long periods of time. Bad for your joints and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it wasn't so bad I need to go to the hospital. That was just kind of the most shocking one, I guess, where I was like, okay, I should probably think about how many or how long I'm playing games. But way back in the day, I would stay up raiding with my raid group, and then there were a couple of us that would play Second Life till like stupid late hours in the morning. I ended up sleeping a lot in my classes in high school, partly because of that. What's happening? Why are these people saying wow? Wow. But the funny thing was, sometimes I would stay up so late. I actually used to teach Taekwondo, and I would fall asleep standing up on the mat while I was supposed to be teaching. It's pretty bad. Not for long periods of time, but I would just kind of doze off. I also used to have a civil engineering aide position. I used to sleep all the time there. Oh yeah, I'm definitely the same way. I feel like I was way closer with my guild mates than my high school friends until I quit playing. There were multiple times where my friends would call me to hang out, and I'd be like, oh no, you know, they're letting me raid on my ult. This never happens. But yeah, it was definitely... It's like anything else, I guess, where you can... You know, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Start to like this world a little more than the real one. Definitely empathize there. That's why I think VR might almost be dangerous. We end up creating a world where we just prefer, like the Oasis for Ready Player One. Nobody ever wants to leave it anymore. Just the whole economy becomes based around it. I almost wonder if there's, well, there is, but if we could create a new form of exploration through like virtual discovery. Oh yeah, it was just a Karazhan raid, so it wasn't like a 40 man or a 25 man, I guess. But it was in Burning Crusade. I got to tank with my Druid Bear ult. I always wanted to play a Druid tank. My main was a Gnome Warlock, and then I had a Night Elf Druid. And I always wanted to tank with that Druid, but it was only the 1 or 2 times I ever really got to. So yeah, my friends were like, oh, come hang out, you know, we're chilling. It's like, I can't. They never let me raid on my ult. It just doesn't happen. They never let me live that one down. I really have no idea where I'm going. But yeah, it was funny then too, because I was like I was made fun of for being the youngest kid in the guild, basically. I was like 13. I almost felt like it was more appropriate for me to be young. A little weirder that there were so many older people in the guild. Now I'm one of the older people, so I feel that side of the coin. But I was always trying to be edgy and get attention, so I can understand people getting annoyed with me. That's why I was especially surprised they let me take an ult to that raid. Because I felt like most of them didn't really like me that much. It was a tolerable annoyance. No, I keep missing them. I am 27 now. Feels old, man. Which I guess still isn't that old in the grand scheme of things. It feels old in the gaming world, though. But at the same time, I feel like my generation was the kind of one of the first ones to really grow up with like accessible video games all the time. We were the first generation with handheld, so I don't know. I feel like the whole gaming culture is weird right now. It used to be considered like a kid type of thing, and now it's, I don't know. I feel like there's a stigma for playing video games when you're past a certain age, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But now that's not as hard and fast true. Yeah, I know. I'm not that old. I guess it's just because when you're on the internet, you tend to assume everybody's like 12. Maybe that's just me. But especially on, say, YouTube or Twitch where there's a chat available. But maybe not. I guess it all depends where you're looking. But yeah, maybe I'm being a little hypercritical. I do really wish I could find some of my old guildmates, though. I miss some of those guys. It's even weirder though to think about how much older they would be, because some of them probably would be 40 or older now. Where they were like my age when I was playing, raiding with them. Just have no idea how you would ever find someone like that. I tried my hardest to remember some of their names, but the only one I can remember is there's a mage named Meepo, which is a really common name because it's a character in Dota, so that doesn't really help. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's what I was trying to say, is that as a whole it's become a lot more of a mainstream sort of entertainment. So it's not looked at the same way as it used to be looked at. If that makes sense. But yeah, it's crazy. I saw some figure for how much money, you know, the video game industry has brought in over the past however long, I don't even remember. All I know is it was a big number and I was impressed. And the implication from the article is that it was something noteworthy.
I need to target something first.
I mean, even ESPN is now showing esports, so I feel like that's kind of a big step for just it becoming more mainstream. And that's just the competitive side of it. I feel like there's a lot of... It's weird to think there's a whole I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. It's weird to think there's a whole sort of economy around gaming. Like, the game itself is a source of entertainment, but now you have streamers, you know, I would say like me, but I'm not all that big, obviously. But you have streamers who can make entertainment out of the entertainment. So now you have like a market within that a market creating content out of... You get it. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, but I think it's pretty obvious. It's just crazy how... just how big it's become, I guess. All the conferences and everything. I've never been to any of the cons. I kind of want to. I think Dragon Con's pretty close in Florida. I'm sure that would be a whole new eye-opener for the economy that is video games. And then not to mention all that sort of stuff, all the fan products, plush toys and cosplay stuff and Funko Pop and just everything. It's just crazy. And even now... Oh, that's true. I didn't even hear about that. Or maybe I did, but I didn't realize how significant it was. GTA 5 selling over 100 million. That's almost a third, well, like a quarter of the US population basically owning GTA 5 if they all lived here. 1 in every 4 person you talk to. That's pretty insane, really. And if you think, obviously not everybody bought it new, but let's say everybody paid at least 20 bucks for it. Is that 2 billion? No. Yeah, $2 billion. Easy. So if you assume everybody only paid 10 bucks, that's still $1 billion. Good lord. And that's probably, that's not even scratching the surface of all the money they made from the shark cards and all that crap. But yeah, video games are definitely here to stay, that's for sure. I'm still curious to see if or when consoles will finally give up. I have a feeling at some point, kind of like the Steam box will happen, where they have some sort of console-sized computer that you can upgrade rather than having to buy a whole new system. Not that I think that's any prophetic thing to say or anything. I think they're fine. Funko Pops can be cool. I think a lot of them... I guess part of the charm is the way they lack detail, but I think a lot of characters don't look good in that style. If I'm thinking of the right ones, there's so many different versions of those little dolls, figurines. But I got my sister a little Vin Diesel one from Fast and the Furious, because she's a big Fast and the Furious fan. And he's like a bald guy, so that's one that translates really well. Like, I feel like there are a lot of characters, especially video game or like anime characters, that would probably look really good in a Funko Pop form. And then there's a lot that don't. There were some... Oh no, I didn't get her the Vin Diesel one. I got her a Groot one, I think. But I liked the Vin Diesel one. Actually, the Groot one, they had an adult version that I didn't think looked good, but the younger one did look good. Either way, there were some of the other Guardians of the Galaxy characters that I thought really didn't look good on the Funko Pop. So, I guess to summarize, it kind of depends on which character it's for. I think they're really good gifts, though. If you know someone who likes video games or something like that, you need a gift. It's nice. It's a quick and easy gift. Yeah, the Groot one looks cool. But yeah, I think the lack of detail actually, it fits certain characters a lot. Some characters look really good as those little Funko Pops, some not so much. But I've also seen how expensive some of the detailed figurines can be, and that's kind of a... I guess there's a reason for it, but I just can't imagine ever paying as much as they want for some of them. Just gonna keep following the Horde here and hope I find something I haven't killed. There was one of them in particular that looked horrible. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was one of those Groot ones. I think the older Groot one just looked really bad for some reason. I don't remember why exactly. But yeah, I definitely don't think they're any big issue. Obviously people like them. It seems like tons of people buy them. It seems like they're included a lot in those monthly boxes, which I've never really messed with. But now that I'm like having to buy presents for my niece and nephew, and I don't know, some of my friends are even starting to have kids and stuff, it's nice to have simple toy gift options. Something like that makes it really easy. Oh really, Sauron? I haven't seen that one. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, that's the thing too. They don't seem crazy expensive either, so it's just kind of something to remind you of something you like. But I may have to check that one out. I actually think that could look kind of cool, a little Sauron guy. Oh, you know what it was? I think it was a Commander Shepard one that I really dislike. Some of the Mass Effect ones. Maybe not, I can't remember, but I want to say that's what it was. Because I probably wanted one and I was disappointed. This one, but I guess I might as well help this guy. Maybe even been the Liara one. Commander Shepard one might have been okay, but I want to say, or maybe even the Garrus one, that might have been it. I'm trying to think of which ones would have detail on their head that wouldn't translate well. But I can't remember. All I know is I was looking for some for gifts, and I saw some I liked, some I didn't like. Yeah, it may have been someone else, I can't really remember. Maybe one of the crewmates. But yeah, I was looking at so many, I can't really recall now. Well, now I'm curious, I might have to look it up real quick. Oh wow, these actually look a lot better than I thought they did. The Miranda one looks kind of crummy. The Garrus one actually looks kind of cool. Same with Grunt. Wow, these actually look pretty good. The Shepherd one is a little bit plain, but I guess due to how customized everybody's character is, it kind of makes sense in a way. Doing it. We're gonna do this guy dirty. But yeah, I've heard of Dishonored, but I haven't played it. I'm a terrible PvPer. I feel bad just jumping people. Although he is a paladin, so screw him. Got about 17 get out of jail free cards. Paladin. But yeah, Dishonored always looked cool. I just never got around to trying it. Yeah, definitely pretty much only PC now. I have a 360 and a PS3, but I only really use them to watch stuff anymore. Once in a while I'll fire up the Xbox for an old game, but definitely prefer PC. I don't really like controller games except for very specific games.
I do not have a target.
Fighting games and stuff like that. Yeah, I have Total War Warhammer. I like that game a lot. I have the first one and the second one. And I didn't keep up with the DLC on the second one, but I had all the DLC for the first. But I like the Total War stuff a lot. There's a lot of similarities between Total War and World of Warcraft. The Total World of Warcraft. I wish there was a Total War game with Warhammer 40k stuff. That would be awesome. But yeah, I streamed Dark Elves campaign through Total War Warhammer 2. And man, I lost. It was excruciating. It was like a 60-hour campaign. And stupid elves got me, the high elves. I just couldn't stop them in time. I had a pretty good army and pretty good empire, but they were controlling all the ritual sites. Yeah, I haven't tried Three Kingdoms. I really liked the Rome Total War. That one was pretty good, but you're right, now that the Warhammer one's out, there's really nothing else I want to play as far as Total War goes. Right now there's just a bunch of rare mobs that we're running around killing. And supposedly if our war contributions get up to 100%, then a world boss will spawn. But other than that, there's just a lot of alliance running around to kill. Venomous. So, responding to you there. Can't really clarify. But yeah, I really like the Total War Warhammer games. I know a lot of people were mad about all the DLC, but I may wait until all the DLC goes on sale and then buy it all and try to play it. Actually, I think I did buy one of the DLCs. Maybe I will play another campaign. I definitely want to play another campaign and maybe even one of those grand war campaigns where it combines the first and second maps. But I know that'll take forever, and it's kind of a, I don't know. It's a hard game to stream because there's a lot of just sitting around. looking at the map screen. I'm flying around everywhere because I have no idea where these mobs are supposed to spawn. Already killed most of them. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it just combines the races and the map from the first and second games. Definitely want to try one of those, but it's one of those things where I feel like I'd started and probably never get around to finishing it. They just take so long. And then if you mess up, it gets to a point where you have to revert like 10 hours just to undo all the screw-ups. Yeah, that's the thing, I just know it would take forever. So I'd almost rather, well, you know, those campaigns just take so long. I hate not finishing a game, and even though there's a lot of games I haven't finished. Games like that, I really... It just irks me. They're hard. Because they're not easy games to beat and then go 60 hours in and then realize your empire's not gonna make it or whatever. They're just hard games to commit a lot of time to. I do like them a lot though. I guess the worst part is working up to get all the really cool units and all the money to afford the cool units, and then realizing once you're there you can't win, so it's pointless to keep playing anyways. I kinda realized that on my playthrough, but I wanted to see if I could turn it around, and there's just no chance. They were already doing it. But yeah, I think I tried to stream mine, and I don't even remember how many episodes it ended up being. And I don't think I actually streamed the entire thing, but most of it at least. And I shamelessly save scum on a game like that, because it takes so long to get to a certain point. I feel like it sucks when you make one tactical oversight or something. I liked the Dark Elves though, they were a strong race to play. You could easily win when you were outnumbered as Dark Elves. The archers were so strong, it's just stupid. The heifer chicken. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, there were a lot of really good mods for that game too. I'm glad the Steam Workshop and all that supported it. Or the Community Workshop, I guess it was called. It's kind of like, what was it called? City Skylines. That has a lot of good community content. I almost wanted to stream that, but that's one of those I feel like would be really boring to watch. don't think I tried that. Most of the mods I used were kind of aesthetics, or I had a couple to make it so you could make level 4 town capitals and stuff like that. I didn't have any real gameplay overhaul mods. Steel Face sounds like a, I don't know, sounds like a pretty big mod. Maybe I'm overestimating. But there were a lot of really good, like, armor sets and stuff. I love that. Dark armor set for Emperor. What's his face? Oh man, I forgot his name. That's not good. Either way, for Emperor, dude. Oh, and there were a few that added some variations for the hero characters. Make it a little more like the tabletop. I never played the tabletop. Probably couldn't afford that crap. I've heard horror stories about how expensive they are. But yeah, I need to look into some mods that might be good to try. Oh no, I didn't see it. I don't even remember who Isabella is, to be honest. The siege maps were really cool, to be honest. I liked those a lot. Those were fun. They kind of suck to fight sometimes, but I liked them a lot. If they could be improved, that'd be even better, because I didn't think they were that bad to begin with. Some of the positioning for troops was strange. But yeah, I'm not sure what the beautiful Isabella mod would be. I think I might have killed all the rare mobs now. Might be time for me to leave this place. Oh, true. I never really played many of the vampire stuff. I got the DLC for the first one for it, but just never really played it much. I did kind of want to though, because they had an interesting playstyle, and they had some really cool monstrosity units. It's like the Hydra for the Dark Elves. Towards the end of the game, almost all of my armies had a Hydra and a couple of dragons to back them up. Yeah, they definitely seem OP if you know how to use their ranged correctly. They're extremely OP. I think their biggest weakness is if you can manage to flank the ranged, that's what would always ruin me. I would be paying too much attention to the front line, and before I knew it, somebody was flanking them and I just couldn't move up my... I would always position troops behind them rather than in front of them, so that way they could charge forward through them as they were still firing. Maybe that was my problem. Although usually I would have some in front too to block the flanks before that. But yeah, if you don't have some sort of really high mobility troops and enough to overwhelm the ranged, I think they're kind of OP, yeah. I just haven't played enough to, or especially now, I don't remember the classes very well, so. And I only really played them in the second one. Played Empire and Dwarves. I guess I played a little bit of Vampire Lords in the first one. But man, they have some really cool monstrosity units. Yeah, I guess that's true. I tried not to save Scum. It was more when it was just a catastrophic loss and I knew there was no coming back anyways, or if I made a really bad, like, more of an oversight than a bad decision, or I don't know. I save Scum. There's no getting around it. I save Scum. I liked using high terrain better though. Man, that was cheap. If you could get the archers on the top of a, like up here on a hill, and then just kill them as they're coming up, it was so cheap. I think I killed more of my own units. Alright, I'm just flying around doing nothing at this point. I think I've killed as many as I can find for now. But yeah, if you could get the high ground with the Dark Elves with a good number of archers, man, just watching that rain of bolts come down. That's what I was saying. I think I killed more of my own units than the enemy did. Just from crossfire.
This chaos is the last thing the city needs. Help the merchants by rescuing the cargo before you get stomped on.
Although that was one of the... Okay, maybe Dark Elves are super OP, because a lot of their ranged units had really strong melee weapons too.
I am listening.
Yeah, it's a legit strategy. I'm just saying they're already kind of extremely strong archers become like, actually completely overpowered. But yeah, it was glorious to watch the rain of bolts. There were a couple of maps where I can't remember if it was attacking or defending. I think it was defending. There was a bridge, and all I had to do was set up about 2 or 3 lines of melee troops and then just fill the opening behind the bridge with archers. The enemy never stood a chance. I was outnumbered, I don't even remember how much. I just shouldn't have been winning with the... I think I won with just garrison troops a couple of times against a a pretty decent sized army. But it's just because that choke point plus those archers. Game over. Game over. But alright, they're gonna continue the war campaign. Let's see what's going on.
What is it?
What is it? Get moving!
There's also supposed to be a world boss out here. Might try to find him. I have Vermintide 1 and 2 also, but I don't know. I get kind of tired of it. It's fun, but I don't know. I'm a little annoyed with it because I have a bunch of friends who bought it, so they're gonna play it. Nobody ever played it. I played it and kind of got sick of it. And now I just don't really want to play it anymore. It's a fun game though. Might have to get around to it again sometime. I just have some sort of mental block against that. And every time I go on Reddit, I see something about people complaining about changes and bad balance, but I wish there were more good Warhammer games, especially 40k. I want a really good multiplayer 40k game. I liked it for what it was. It was very, I mean, obviously like a Left 4 Dead type of thing. It's a good thing to play with friends, I feel like, but the difficulty spike seemed weird to me. I don't know, maybe I just didn't know how to play, but it seemed like there was a very strange timing with blocking and pushing and whatever. It's a fun game, but like I said, I just can't really have fun with it anymore. Not sure what Misha means, my dude. But Misha.
On the prowl.
Misha's the bear, my bad. I didn't even notice. Yeah, I heard about it, but then I never really heard anybody talking about it, so I assumed it was kind of a flop. I saw some gameplay and it looked really clunky. I was thinking about getting it, because it did kind of seem like a 40k version of Vermintide. But I don't know. It just seemed like the reception wasn't all that great, and I think I'd already just gotten Vermintide, so I don't feel like messing with it. Is Misha gonna help us on this mission? And where am I supposed to go? I'm pretty blind to have not noticed the bear's name was Misha when he said it, though. Disappointed. Disappointed. But Deathwing, the pre-release footage looked like something I would like. I just kind of stopped paying attention to it, if I'm totally honest. I don't actually know how good or bad it was. It seemed like if it was good, I would have heard more about it, if that makes sense. And I remember watching somebody play and it looked really laggy, but I think it was still early access. So can't really judge too much off early access.
Let the hunt begin.
That's true, actually. That's a fair point, because they're in the giant Terminator suit, so I guess it would make sense. I really did want to try it, I just never got around to it. I may try to give it a shot at some point, maybe if I see it on sale. That's kind of depressing. The Warhammer lore is really cool though. There's a couple of good YouTube channels that I was watching before. I think Arch Warhammer was one. What was that other one called? One Mind Syndicate? I think that was one of them. There's another guy, Chapter Master Valkrith or something like that. I want to say it was Arch Warhammer that did the kind of lore summary videos, so they were pretty good. Like I said, I never really played the tabletop or read any of the books or anything like that. I got most of my lore from those videos, really. But yeah, I remember the Terminator suits are as clunky as they are awesome. And of course, lore from the games. I played the, what's it called? Dawn of War 2. And all the expansions. And I've heard people say the first one was better. Tried to play some of that, but never really finished it. Surreal Beliefs, yeah, that was the guy I watched. I think he was the one with the lore videos that I watched. Definitely Surreal Beliefs. That was the guy I was trying to remember but couldn't. I think he does a lot of Total War videos, if I'm remembering correctly. He had some pretty good ones. I haven't watched much of that stuff in a little bit.
Seas grant you favor.
Yeah, Surreal Beliefs is really good. I think he also did Star Wars Galaxy at War. Is that what it was called?
I live my life in the shadows. Do not linger.
Every hand helps. Every path.
I hear the call of the wild.
But yeah, he definitely has some good videos.
For the Horde.
Potential customer. For real.
That was It's a waste of a glider. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I used to watch Surreal Beliefs walkthroughs on something. It might have been Warhammer 1 actually. Total War Warhammer 1. I think he's done a lot of Total War videos. I don't know, I might be mixing him up with someone else too though. Like I said, it's been a little while since I watched some of their stuff. Should catch up on some of his videos sometime though. Nah, I think the guy I was thinking of was Surreal Beliefs. The one, when I said Arch Warhammer, I think I was actually thinking of Surreal Beliefs. Arch Warhammer does have lore videos, I'm pretty sure. But I think Surreal Beliefs also has a, well, I can't remember now. It's just been so long since I watched it. And I've seen their videos in my sub feed, I just haven't been clicking on them lately.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, I think he did, what else was it? Mountain Blade or something? But yeah, they're both good content creators. Nah, I don't think so. Rubez has some good mountain blade videos too, actually. Actually, yeah, Surreal Beliefs has some Mountain Blade videos. I think it was him I was thinking of. I haven't watched him in a while though. I used to watch him a ton. But yeah, I really like the Warhammer Fantasy, and I know more about the 40k lore than the fantasy lore, but I like them both. Every once in a while I do wonder how much inspiration games like this took from. And again, I guess, like, what's it called? Lord of the Rings was before. I don't know. I'm sure there was something before that, ad infinitum. No original, nothing's original under the sun, whatever that saying is. Either way, every once in a while this game makes me think of Warhammer Fantasy. Wonder how much inspiration was drawn from one or the other, vice versa. Yeah, I love how dark 40k is. It's like a totally feudal thing. Just these little... I don't know, they make it seem like ragtag groups of humans, but at the same time there's these whole planets devoted to supplying them with warriors and stuff, so... It's strange how hopeless and just massive they make it seem at the same time, sometimes. But considering what they're up against, like the what are they called? The warp. The forces that come from the warp.
A target.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could always be worse. We could always be living in the Warhammer 40k timeline. Or maybe we are. We won't know for another 38,000 years. Second coming of Jesus Christ will be wearing a golden embossed set of space laser gun armor. But yeah, and then there's, what are they called, the oh man, where's some of these civilians? The things that are just like creatures, I forget what they're called. Tyranids. I think that's what they're called. Tyranids. Where some of their planets are basically just a planet-sized creature. That shit. It's crazy. Or some of their like ships are planet-sized creatures, I guess. I don't know, those are some crazy things. And both them, Chaos, and the Warp all kinda have no real ambition but to just destroy. Same with the Orcs, I guess. And I guess out of necessity, the humans become the same. They're forced to care only about destroying. Man, where are all these civilians? But yeah, I really like the art style too, like the gothic cathedral spaceships. It's kind of a almost ironic duality there. The ancient sort of architecture and the future tech. Oh, really? I didn't even remember it. I guess I do remember something like that. Something about his throne where... Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not a good thing to be a psyker. Or not a thing you want. But yeah, and any slight miscalculation in the warp and they basically just get torn apart by basically other dimensional forces. Some crazy stuff. It's like a weird combination of religion and science. There's just such a crazy variety of stuff going on in it. All the different types of human and all the creatures that come out of the warp and the chaos and everything else. Not to mention the ancient races and Eldar and the... What do they call them? The old ones or something? I almost wish they would make some sort of movie or television series on that. There's so much they could do with it. But knowing Hollywood and all that, they'd probably butcher it, so maybe it's better they don't. Same with the SCP lore. I would love to see some movies based on SCPs, but they'd probably get ruined. Yeah, it is crazy to think about 1,000 sacrifices a day. Yeah, I don't know much about that part of it, I guess. I would assume the argument is Emperor only uses it because he has to combat the forces of the warp.
My blade stays sharp.
But yeah, it's some crazy stuff.
Not from reindeer, are you? We will reclaim what's ours.
By fang and claw.
Love the idea of just the giant tanks with like 18 guns coming out of every other direction too. It's just hilarious. The titanic, like, skyscraper-sized rolling fortresses. So cool.
So be it.
Every hand helps. Every path has a few puddles.
I know the Dawn of War 2. It was Dawn of War 2. Not the newer one, but the less newer one. Must be Dawn of War 2. A lot of people didn't like it because I guess it was so much different from the playstyle of the first one. I thought it was a pretty good game though. I feel like I learned a lot of lore from it too. But I like that game. I never tried the third one. I heard not great things. No, I mean the actual Dawn of War 2. I think I played all the expansions and the original. Like the campaigns, I mean. Crap, why am I here? I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But yeah, I think it's Dawn of War 2, Retribution, Chaos Rising, and there was one more. Maybe that was all of them. Actually, I think that was all of them. The first one was a lot. Well, I guess the other ones were just kind of expansions. But it was like a 40-hour campaign for the first, and then 20 for the other two. Well, like I said, I enjoyed them. I finished them all. It was kind of cool getting all the different weapons. It was almost more like a Diablo game than a RTS. Oh, that's weird. I think I only played the Empire Mankind side. I don't think I ever got around to playing the Chaos side. I think the last expansion was the only one where you could play other factions. Or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, that would be weird to be switching around between factions as you're playing. Especially enemy factions, not just different styles of the same faction. I don't know what to call them. Like the Blood Angels versus the Space Marines. Well, yeah, I heard a lot of really not great things about 3. Another one of those cases where I didn't hear much. And I just stopped caring after a point. Figured I'd rather just finish playing one of the other factions than the older ones. Well, that's sad. They had a chance to redeem it. No, I think the Blood Angels are what you play as in Dawn of War 2. Oh, let me check. Now I'm curious. This is Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, Dawn of War 2 removes base building completely. At least from the campaign, I guess. But Blood Angels are definitely not chaos. Wow, there was a game called Space Hulk Vengeance of the Blood Angels in 1995. Never even heard of that before. Let me check. I'm pretty sure you played as the... Blood Angel. Did you not? Maybe it was just the Space Marines. Can't really remember. Either way, the Blood Angels are definitely mankind, not chaos. Even though I can't really remember much about them, they're one of my favorites. They're some badasses. I'm almost positive they're what you play as in Dawn of War. I'm gonna have to double check that. It's gonna bother me. Okay, yeah. Definitely Space Marines. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh wait, Blood Angels are Space Marines, there you go. Blood Angels are just a special part of the Space Marines. Wiki says they're one of the 20 founding chapters. So yeah, sorry, they are a Space Marine chapter, but... But yeah, I forget who you play as, but it's one of the main dudes. Hold on, now I want to see. Aptus Astartes, blah blah blah. I don't know, it was a cool... I liked the campaign. You basically went through this whole arc for one of the Blood Angels' main dudes. I liked it a lot. But I can definitely see why, if people were expecting an RTS and they got that, I can see why some people might be upset. Okay, there's Tarkus, Avitus, Thaddeus, Cyrus, Davian Thule. Sergeant Tarkus. I think that might be who you play as, Tarkus. Jonas? Oh, true, the librarian. Gotcha. I was trying to remember who you actually play as. Either way, good game. Liked it a lot. Actually, it was almost more like an XCOM game, but not turn-based. It's just a strategy game, I guess. It's a real-time strategy without base building. It wasn't particularly hard, and I think I even played it on a harder difficulty. It would have been nice if there was... It wasn't super easy, it just wasn't that hard. I remember too, you got one of those giant mech suits you could bring. It's fun to use. The whole game was about positioning. Making tornadoes. But yeah, I think a Warhammer 40k MMO, like a really well-made one, would be amazing. But I know they already kind of tried that, and it didn't... I don't think it ever even got finished. I don't really remember. If it did, nobody played it, because it just didn't last. But there was some MMO they were making that was a 40k. Eternal Crusade. Is that it? Or is it Dark Millennium? Might play for free. Ooh. Terrible rating. MMORPG.com. Yeah, it was Eternal Crusade then. So maybe you can still play it even for free.
Times were simpler once.
is it you
But yeah, it's that sounds like something that could have potential, but I don't know. And then there's that other one that was almost like a Diablo style game. And that one seemed like it just kind of died out. 40k Sims, that would be great. Although I'm sure there's already 12 mods for that. That is a funny idea though. That'd be amazing to actually see.
keep your guard up?
Your daughter has committed heresy. Go sacrifice her to the blood god. Oh, that's a mix-up. I guess blood god worshipper won't care about heresy.
Not from reindeer, are you?
Hey, how's it going over in Russia? Hope you guys are finally warm
Saying what's ours.
some time of year. This time of year. Speaking of Russia, I love those stop a douchebag videos. They stop people from driving on the sidewalk in Russia. This guy's about to become a Forsaken. He doesn't want to die and leave his family. No, bring him back. Uh-oh. He's just running straight back to him. That'll be a shock. But greetings to Russia from America, by the way. I'll finish that. I feel like that's pretty apropos for an Inquisitor anyways. I mean, it's all in the name, I guess.
Do not linger.
See if this guy's family actually accepted him. I have a feeling it didn't go the way he'd hoped.
My blade stays sharp.
Yeah. You didn't take your shoes off at the door? Heresy. I'm sure that's a meme. I think I forgot to sub to the 40k subreddit. They had some really good memes.
Something has spooked one of the Brutusos, sending it into a panic. Oh, this chaos is the last thing the city needs. Help the merchants by rescuing the cargo before you get stomped on.
Whoa! I got a mount that I didn't even know about. What? Yeah, boy. Wait, where'd I get that? Wait a second, what's that from? I didn't even know I got that. Oh, that was that one night I kept buying, when I realized I could get a few can't even talk. When I realized I could buy a few mounts due to the new guild I was in, I got this achievement, I'm pretty sure. And I forgot all about it. Oh man, I got 2 new mounts I didn't even know about. Let me double check if there's any more. Hold on, I might have to brag to my guild real quick. Just a second here. Go ahead and favorite that dude. Where is he? Sweet. Can't believe I actually got one of the mounts. Man, that's a pretty sweet mount, actually. look at all the money. All these BOE greens. Yeah, I like that one. I'm so glad they added this thing that'll send you the loot you miss.
What is your business?
Of course, I would have been none the wiser, but now I am. Alright. I think I can stop bragging to them now.
Help! These little ones have taken our scrolls and turned themselves into beasts. We have dispelling scrolls, but you will need to get close enough to use them. Watch out!
Oh, it's true. I didn't realize what you were going for there now, but it makes perfect sense now. I remember what you're talking about. I barely ever used them, but I really should have used them more. They were so quick. Now I want to mount that bad boy.
Out with it. Get moving.
But yeah, it is basically a cold one. Or I guess I am now. And now I need more rep again. But yeah, there were some, pretty sure there were some mounted archer units you could get on cold ones. And they were really mean. They were great for pursuing like fleeing targets. Had no chance.
Children these days have no respect for their elders or their belongings. Now, back in my day...
I really like the music here. This whole expansion has had really good music.
What are you doing here?
Got some coin to spend? Come on back.
Alright, I'll take off that image in just a second. Try to see if I can get in any guild groups for Mythic. Gotta respect the rules. Can't show guild chat. Really? I like being Horde. I've heard a lot of people complaining about Kulturis. It seems like it's a pain to get around if you don't have a water strider or something like that. Although I guess there's some not great places to get around in Zandalar also. Some really high cliffs and places where if you don't realize you're about to go off the edge, you can die kind of easily. May or may not have happened to me a time or two. Oh, I do need to go turn in that. That main hub city of theirs in Kulturis looks really cool though. Kinda want to get my druid up to 110 so I can go check it out. Check it out. It looks massive. Then again, I guess so does all this great seal crap.
Do you want something?
It's just really spread out. Yeah, I guess this place looks pretty massive also. You notice now, spoilers, the seal has stopped moving. Once you finish that achievement, or finish that scenario, the last seal gets cracked and stops rotating. Which is a bad thing for Azeroth. really need an offhand, I might try to
Watch your back.
join a different Mythic
You are
group.
never going to find a better deal. You know where to find me.
Yeah. If that bothers you, how do you feel about the fact that he was like dry humping it just before that? But yeah, dang old Sargeras took his sword and just stabbed straight into Azeroth.
Too far away.
There was someone I was watching who had this gif of Sargeras like holding on to Azeroth and like where he gets beamed out, just reversing and forwarding it. It looked like he was dry humping it. Did not feel right. But yeah, apparently that sword went straight into poor old Azeroth's heart. Broke the poor thing. To be honest, I don't know much about the WoW lore still. It took me so long to realize we were still fighting the same people from the Burning Crusade when I quit that I shouldn't even try to guess at answers on WoW lore right now. Still have a lot of catching up to do. And now I guess we're fighting the same bosses as Anchorage again, the old gods. I didn't feel like doing all this. But yeah, I don't really know much about the ancient lore or war or any of that stuff. I still really don't understand what happened in pretty much anywhere between the Burning Crusade and Warlords of Draenor. And the time travel shit, that just throws me all off. You know, I really didn't know much of the lore back when I played a lot either. Just didn't even care about it back then. But it's crazy to think about all three of the 4 raids from back then. Oh man, I'm about to die. Three of the 4 raids ended up coming back in like a new form. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And it seems like, well, I guess maybe he can change size. I guess he is kind of WoW Satan. See, in the first game, I guess the Burning Crusade weren't even a thing until the expansion, or the Burning Legion. They weren't a thing until the Burning Crusade happened. And then, trying to think, there was Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, Encourage, Naxxramas. So everything except Molten Core came back as, what was it called, Blackwing's Descent? Or, no, it's something else. Either way, it's the back entrance to Blackwing Lair. And then Naxxramas obviously came back, literally, I don't know if it's the same thing or a different version of Naxxramas. Now I can't get my stupid tier 3 armor that I always wanted to get it off the black market. But anyways, it came back. I guess Encourage didn't come back, but the old gods are coming back. So it's like they expanded on those 3. Oh no, wait! Molten Core did come back in Cataclysm. There was Ragnaros. So yeah, they kind of brought back all 4 of the raids from vanilla. I don't know what my point was, it's just weird. It's kind of funny. Oh, my point was I didn't realize we were still fighting the Burning Legion. I didn't realize the Burning Legion was a thing. I think I quit the Burning Crusade before the very last. I don't think the Sunwell was even open. And I'm not sure if Black Temple had come out yet. I want to say it hadn't. I want to say the video for it came out, and for some reason I'm confused it with the video for the expansion. The one where he goes, "You are not prepared." Illidan. But anyways, I didn't realize the whole Burning Crusade was being carried out by the Burning Legion, which maybe that wasn't really completely clear there. Either way, point being, I didn't realize we were still fighting the same people. Been a long time coming. So maybe our very last fight will be a couple of gnolls, like the very first things you ever fought in the game. Rogues are so annoying.
You cannot command me.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I never did play any of the Warcraft games. Not because I don't think they're any good, I don't know, I played StarCraft instead during the time. And yeah, I never got around to checking them out just for lore purposes, but you're right, I think they do expect most people to, or maybe not expect it, they probably don't think most people care. But yeah, they probably do think most people played the games in some way. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch some compilation videos that'll explain it. I didn't even realize the whole thing with Sylvanas falling to Arthas was from the Warcraft stuff. Looked up some music video for the, I don't remember why, the fall of Lordaeron. Or no, the fall of whatever it's called. But it showed some cinematic from a Warcraft game, I'm pretty sure. It was basically just StarCraft with... StarCraft was like the Warhammer 40k to Warcraft's Warhammer Fantasy. It's kind of funny. I think that's why I thought they were so parallel also. Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny. They obviously didn't copy the whole aesthetic of like the gothic sort of stuff. Oh man, I'm done for. But yeah, there are some very similar there's some obvious similarities between Space Marines and Warhammer 40k and the what are they called? No, Ultramarines are also from Warhammer. Are they just called Space Marines in StarCraft too? I think so. I played so much StarCraft back in the day though. More custom games than anything else. I was terrible at the normal game. I was all about Zerg though. But I always liked playing the weird custom games. That and what was that one game called? They just remastered it recently. Not Age of Empires, it was. Yeah, I guess that's true. Protoss and Elder, yeah, they're almost identical. Zerg and Tyranid are definitely identical. And then Space Marines and Space Marines. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. But again, I mean, I don't think it's enough to be called just a ripoff, but there's some definite parallel thinking going on. Or not parallel thinking, but inspiration taken. And where is everybody? I need to group up. Oh, one of the games I used to love as a kid was Mech Warrior, speaking of. I was thinking of the Goliaths, or whatever they're called, and I think that was in the new StarCraft. But I forget what the little walker things are called. Ah, come on. I used to love Mech Warrior. It's another game I kind of wish they would... someone would decide to start again. A really good version. I know they have that crappy free-to-play thing, but I just want a solid single-player game for something like that. I don't want... I like multiplayer would be nice, but I really want a solid single-player. Even a VR game, that would be amazing. But I loved Mech Warrior. Mech Warrior 3, Mech Warrior Black Knight, Mech Warrior 4. Those were great. But those giant mech suits are kind of similar too. Oh yeah. I almost always played in first person, it's so much more immersive. But yeah, there's definitely a first person mode. So cool. I love that game so much. I would almost want to try to dig up the CDs, but I'm almost positive they wouldn't work on Windows 10. I remember Black Knight was my favorite. I think it was the more recent of the expansions for MechWarrior 4. Actually, I saw they just made a BattleTech turn-based game. I kind of wanted to try that. I'm meaning to see how it was. Check out like a review or something on it to get an idea of it. So I'm not a huge fan of turn-based strategy games, but something like that I could see myself liking. Like, people don't understand a game doesn't have to be bad for you to not necessarily like it. There are just a lot of people who like certain types of games, and I kind of liked XCOM. Like, XCOM's definitely a good game, but there's a point where I just can't get into it too much, so I kind of, that's my bar for turn-based strategy games. Those types anyways. Not like Civ or something, obviously. Speaking of which, I think I only played one full campaign of Civ 5 and then never played it again. I had some friends that were big fans of Divinity Original Sin, but I never tried it. I didn't realize it was turn-based, to be honest. Kind of makes me think I would like it a lot less in that case. But that game had some really great reviews. But like I said, I've never tried it, so can't really say. I don't know what all these items are that I'm picking up. Yeah, that's the thing, it starts to take forever to do stuff. And then especially when it's a bigger fight, you just gotta wait for 15 things to cycle through their turn to get back to yours, and then you screw up, and I don't know. Like, I don't mind making mistakes and having consequences for mistakes in games, but all that waiting just to learn the same, like a simple lesson. Yeah. It's not like you're getting a whole lot better for all that time spent.
I need to target something first.
Like, oh yeah, I should have put my dude in Overwatch. Whoops. But yeah, I can definitely see that also not being my type of game. For a mech game, it seems like it would work for some strange reason. Just because that almost seems like, you know, like you're a commander, you're sending out orders. Kind of makes sense. Kind of like that, the faster FTL, faster than light people made. Forgot what it was called. That one seemed kind of cool. It had sort of mechs in it. Oh man, we are just getting destroyed. And that one is turn-based, I'm pretty sure. That one seemed alright. Kind of wanted to try it. Can't even remember the name of it now. But FTL is a little bit, it's not even turn-based, I guess. You can pause it if you want, but it's not really turn-based. For some reason I was thinking, well no, FTL isn't, that other one is. The one I can't remember the name of. But yeah, FTL is really good. I still don't think I've been able to finish a single. I think I've only tried it on normal. So I haven't been able to finish a normal or easy. I don't think I've tried easy much. But that's one of those games too where you really pay for your mistakes. It's fun though. And I really respect the fact that they were able to make it into a mobile game for... I'm pissed it never came to Android as far as I know. So I only have Android, but still impressive they could make a mobile game out of that. Not that it seems like it'd be technically hard. It's not really a graphically intense game or anything. Just seems like an awesome game to be able to play on a tablet or something. Just the perfect type of game. I don't know. It's just a really well made, just good game. Happy those guys have done really well, it seems like. I mean, I don't even know if they can be considered an indie company anymore. Into the Breach, that's what the other one's called. I kind of want to try that one. I was watching Vinesauce Vinny play, it was looked pretty fun. But the reason I brought it up to begin with was because it's turn-based and it kind of has mechs in it. Yeah, Vinny is, if not my favorite, one of my favorite streamers. I actually haven't been watching him much lately, but I don't think I've seen any of his Fire Emblem stuff. I kind of end up streaming the same time he does, so I end up not catching a lot of it. I think the last thing I watched a lot of was when he was playing through the new Zelda.
I do not have a target.
Yeah. I always try to catch his corruption streams when I can. Those are always hilarious. Or the trash streams. Those are my favorite. Just like people collect all these random weird ports and ROMs and stuff. Love that stuff. Vinny's really entertaining. You can tell he would be like an amazing radio personality or something. I never understood how he could just manage to find stuff to continually talk about.
I require a target.
I haven't checked out much of his music either, but what I have heard is pretty good. I didn't realize until, well, I guess I've only heard a couple of songs. Seems like most of it's video game related though, or sort of fantasy type stuff. I don't know. He's a cool guy though. It's a good jabroni. Yeah, he's kinda like Howard Stern. Although, to be honest, I never really listened to much Howard Stern either, so my opinion on that might be not worth a whole lot.
I must get closer.
I like Germa too, but I don't watch him as much as Vinny nearly. I used to like, what's his name? Joel. Vinesauce Joel, but I don't know, I kinda... I don't know. I just got a little bit tired of him. I don't dislike him, I felt like a lot of his stuff was the same thing all the time and just kind of lost interest. I really loved his facade video. Your face is bare. Oh man, that was such a good video. Sometimes with those really thick accents, so it kind of... I don't know, it's not that the accent annoys me as much as I feel like they're kind of... not even... I don't know. Hearing it in repetition, certain... enunciations start to bother me, if that makes sense. Yeah, they have their own website where they like host the different streamers. But I think usually Vinny will host someone after he ends his stream. I'm pretty sure it's just vinesauce.com though. Let me check. I never usually use it. But yeah, here it is. Vinesauce, you have I'm a Cooney, Direbore, Fred, Potato, Vine Sauce. Well, Vinny. Vinny is Vine Sauce, but it's kind of a network called Vine Sauce also. Lime Malicious. Mental Jen, I don't know who she is. Rev Scarecrow, and then Varg Skeletor, which is Joel. But yeah, if you just go to vinesauce.com, I think it used to actually host their streams here, but I think something with Twitch, they can't do that now, so you have to... Oh no, you can. You just click on it, and then it'll start playing their video from Twitch. But yeah, you can just go to the Vinesauce website. I've actually hardly ever used the website, I just know I've heard Vinny talk about it. But I think they also have, it's like a group or whatever on Twitch. So if you, or a community I think they're called. So I guess if you were to follow that community, you'd be able to see all the other streamers also. But yeah, it's kind of confusing because Vinny's channel is Vinesauce, but the website is also called Vinesauce. So I think he's technically Vinny Vinesauce. Vinny of Vinesauce. If that makes sense. But I think the original ones, or the ones that I know, have been around longer than the rest. I think Lime's been there a while. I never really watched her. Joel's been there for a long time. Rev's been there for a long time. And maybe Fred? I want to say he went by a different name before. Paying attention to that game. But yeah, some of those other ones are newer. Some of them I haven't even heard of before, to be honest. So they may be a lot newer. I want to No, I'm confusing Fred with someone else. But yeah, I think Vinny started it and then kind of created that network on that website before I think he did it before YouTube was a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, like, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. For a while it seemed like a lot of people like to put their content on their own websites rather than YouTube, or rather than just YouTube. Kind of like Cinemassacre and people like that. Where's this bloodfish? Am I blind? Oh yeah, Vinny has been around for a long time. I'm actually kind of sad he doesn't have more streamers than he does, but I've noticed he really doesn't post to his main YouTube channel often. He gets a good amount of viewers on Twitch though, so I think he's kind of worried more about streaming than YouTube views. And the whole reason he doesn't stream on YouTube is because he's partnered with Twitch, and part of the partnership agreement is that you only stream in one location, basically. You can make videos and put them on YouTube, but you can't stream on both.
I need to target something first.
Because he used to stream on both, and I just liked using YouTube on the Xbox for whatever reason. I just personally favor YouTube over Twitch. So I used to watch it on YouTube instead, and I remember he was kind of bummed about it because he knew a lot of people prefer to watch it on YouTube. But it may also help him on Twitch Discovery, because I know their whole Discovery thing's based on live viewers and whatever, so maybe it helps him get some more notoriety on Twitch anyways. Even if it's a little harder for people to find the stream. I'm not sure how, well, I guess he's been streaming the whole time, I don't know. I knew of his YouTube channel way before I knew of his, like, streams. So I'm not sure if it's a chicken and egg situation or what. I think Vinny was the first streamer I ever actually watched. Definitely on Twitch, he was the first one.
How you doing, man? Stay away from the voodoo. Be seeing ya.
he's been around for a really long time. I don't think his channel really started getting big until fairly recently. Like probably within the last year, I think he passed 1 million subs. There was some video he made that really went viral. I want to say it was one of the Just Cause 3 videos. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if all of his old videos are still up, but I do know he's been around for a long time. I'm glad he's really taken off the past year. I'm kind of amazed at how many viewers he gets. I stopped watching him for a while and I came back for, I think it was one of the Sunday streams, like the garbage and corruption streams, and I want to say it was somewhere between 8 and 10,000 viewers, and before that 5,000 would have been a lot to see for him. So it seemed like, I don't know, he's kind of blown up on Twitch, it seems like. I'm not sure how he's doing on YouTube lately. I haven't been watching much of his stuff lately, so I haven't really been able to gauge how many views he gets and stuff. Because sometimes 1 million viewers can mean a lot more if they're all really active, but like I said, I don't really know what his case is necessarily. And like I said, I think he's focusing more on streaming now. And I think he's focusing a lot on his music, actually. Seems like he takes that stuff pretty seriously. The hell? Are you serious right now? Get me out of here. There we go. But yeah, I think Joel's been around a while too. I think you actually might be surprised how many of these popular YouTubers have been around for a really long time. Like Philip DeFranco, I think, just recently said he's been on YouTube for a decade. And even the Nerd City did a video talking about Jake Paul and all of that crap, and he was saying how they've been apparently doing YouTube since, I don't know, almost longer than anyone, since they were like 13 or something. They've been doing about a decade themselves. I think he said they've been doing it longer than Philip DeFranco. It's just crazy. Because I was gonna say, you know, people like them have just blown up all of a sudden, but it's, I guess, not really all of a sudden. Maybe they're growth was sudden, but Nerd City's another good channel too. Trying not to kill that thing, I want to catch him. It's also funny because I've even heard Vinny talk about it, but I guess a lot of people will confuse vine sauce with Vsauce. And it's just funny because Vsauce is so immensely popular. I don't know. It's just funny to me. But I'm pretty sure vine sauce was first. And they're completely different types of content, so I don't think anybody's really mixing up that badly. Probably only just by name. Now I'm actually curious. See when it was created. Okay, some of the notable recurring streamers included KY, Joel, Fred, Mental Gen, Limes, Darren, Study Guy, Rev, Hootie, I remember. I'm a Cooney, Beard, Gingers, and GPM. I remember GPM too. By name at least. But it was in May of 2010, I think it said. So that's about 8 years. A while. 8.5 years. Maybe the stream was before. Started a YouTube channel, playthroughs. And then he just decided to start doing streaming, I guess, after that. They're good peeps, I like that community a lot. I always feel like I'm at home when I'm watching one of his streams. Like I'm hanging out with friends or something. The chat's always really... I don't know, it's just not a toxic chat, it seems like a lot of other streamers. Or other big streamers, I guess. Seems like a lot of smaller streamers, it's easy to manage when you're small. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Probably be getting off myself here pretty soon. But yeah, I appreciate you chatting with me. Always nice to have someone to converse with. Otherwise I have to try to talk to myself, which is always awkward. But yeah, good to see you again, man. Hope you get a good night's rest. Sure, I'll be seeing you again sometime. Yo, how's it going? Not sure how I'm supposed to get up here. I guess that works. think I did them all actually. I was doing them earlier and I got this mount off of someone. I actually missed it off the actual body and got it in my mail. I don't think I did all of them, but I got to the point where I was flying around and I was just going in circles and couldn't find any I hadn't killed, so I may go back at some point, but I think I've done most of them for now. But yeah, I did that basically when I started the stream. And I think we're like 75% away from the world boss spawning. Although there's supposedly a world boss in a Storm Song I need to go check out. But yeah, I was pretty psyched about getting this mount. Cause like I said, I didn't even notice it and then it showed up in my mailbox. I'm not sure if there's any way to check what rares you've killed already. I don't think there is. But it's harder because there were so many people there, they kept dying before I could even fly over to a lot of the places. But I'm pretty sure I got at least the majority of them. Just fly back, or Hearthstone back.
Something has spooked one of the Brutusos.
Thanks. I also apparently unlocked 50 mounts and I got this albino drink. Not sure if it was when I got that raptor, because it says I have 68 mounts, but I don't know if it doesn't count the ones that are for the opposite faction. Let me get a screenshot real quick. Yeah, it's a good one.
Do you need protection?
So I should be looking at dailies I need to do. Need honor bound rep.
Greetings.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I don't have any incredibly rare mounts though, so still need to farm up some of the older ones. Like that one from forget what it's called. Blackrock Foundry. No, that one's super rare. I think my mic was muted for all that, but I was saying I didn't really realize how late it is already. Oh yeah, Invincible is sweet. And yeah, Mimiron's head. I really want that one, that one's cool. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and call it a night for now. Appreciate you watching. Hope you decide to join again next time. Sorry that you kinda just got here, but like I said, it is pretty late my time, so. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you decide to join again. And I will see you then. Peace.